Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Nerd Soup. My name is Reuben, joined here today with Aaron, and we are back to review The Last of Us, Season 2, Episode 4, Day 1. And before we get into today's episode, I want to let you guys know that you can listen to this wherever you get your podcasts. And go ahead and check out our Patreon page if you want more Nerd Soup podcasts. We just uploaded our review for Thunderbolts, and we also did The Pit, the medical drama from Max, and an Aaron solo podcast. So yeah, that's cool. And a lot of people ask us, how come you review certain movies or shows and only exclusively release them on Patreon? Are you guys just trying to get us to sign up? No, that's really not it. We were just late on the Patreon podcasts, so we really had no choice. We had to upload those. So you're welcome to all of our patrons. And for everybody else, sorry. And go ahead and follow us on social medias at Nerd Soup, at Beau Soup, at Nerd Soup Monkey. Good to have you back, Aaron. Yeah, and I mentioned on the last review how excited I was for the rest of the season because of the strong start. I thought that this episode was also really strong. I think the ending was a bit more abrupt than the last one. I think the endings for these episodes have been pretty clean, even though it's obviously a story being told over the course of 7 episodes. There goes that word, obviously, again. But a lot of fun moments. The way that they've been using the zombies and incorporating that threat has been really scary and fun and epic in those moments. They really just keep topping themselves. And the stuff that was directly adapted from the game, seeing Jeffrey Wright as Isaac, his character, getting a bit more backstory, because I don't think that was a scene that we did see in the game. But when he betrays Fedra and joins the Liberation Front, and then we see where he is in the current timeline, how he's basically become the monster that he wanted to defeat, and the war between the WOLF and the Seraphites. So building out the world and also giving us a love story between Ellie and Dina. Some of those romantic moments and scenes from the game, they happened a bit earlier in the story that was told in part 2, so they're coming up a bit later. I think they were before Joel's death, so I think the placement is interesting. Not everybody was in love with that, but I didn't mind it because I think the chemistry between them is just so strong. They're adorable together, and it never clashes, the survival post-apocalyptic setting with this budding romance, figuring out what they are and what they mean to each other and learning to trust each other. Even under these circumstances with someone that you love and care about, it can still be difficult. Life or death in this world, whether you have tanks, hospitals, machine guns, those zombies are coming. They're clicking. So I thought it was a really good episode. Aaron, what did you think about Day 1?
I liked it too. I love I feel like they've done really good jobs with the flashback scenes in the show. I mean, some pre-apocalypse, but even the ones like, just from 2018, I feel like they do a good job of because every time we kind of break away from our main story, I feel like you just learn a little bit more about how the society functions now. And I felt like that little scene, albeit short, with the Fedra agents. Remember, Josh Peck was in Oppenheimer. I always forget about that.
Yeah, he was.
Just reminded me. I'm like, oh shit, he was in Oppenheimer. I wasn't even like, oh, that's Josh Peck. I'm like, oh shit, he was in Oppenheimer.
He was also Drake and Josh.
Yeah, yep.
Some of his best work. Really kind of spun off from the Amanda Show. That's neither here nor there.
But yeah, seeing how he was describing, just like, even like referring to people as voters because they literally can't vote anymore, just kind of how numb they are to their authoritative control, that is Fedra, and why someone like Jeffrey Wright would leave that organization. Not only just leave, but murder his, his buddies.
Yeah, I want to say subordinates?
Yeah, I was going to say that too, but I feel like they call it something else in the army.
Walker would know. John Walker, if he was here, he'd be mad at us too. Why don't you guys know that?
He would have been the guy smashing heads because people called him out on his vocabulary. Yeah, so I think just in that little scene alone and then that awesome monologue, Jeffrey Wright's so fucking good. Every time he hops up on something I'm watching, I'm like, hell yeah.
It's Jeffrey Wright. He is.
Just want to listen to him talk. And no matter how much they're going to try to, I don't feel like they're trying to lean you one way or the other, but there has been, I think, the 2 times we've seen the Scars to kind of portray them as innocent parties in all this. And maybe that's true, but they freak me out too much for me to ever not be down with fucking killing those motherfuckers. It caused me so much pain, so much horror in pain.
Well, cults that, identify that they're in a cult through scarring their bodies.
Yeah.
I'm never going to be cool with that. Yeah, I'm
But,
never going to be able to understand that. And I think what also makes them very sympathetic is moments like this where Jeffrey Wright is being particularly cartoonishly evil in a way that scares the shit out of you. He is one of those rare actors who can do cute and cuddly and also absolutely vicious.
But last week they kind of showed them as, the daughter, no, that's sweet. They're kind of normal. And then this week, obviously him torturing somebody, having him locked up that way. It's very much painting the wolves as the bad guys, but
yeah, and I think it's a bit of the liberal outlook on certain conflicts that it's just cycle of violence. It's never going to end. Both sides are breaking truths. Both sides are killing children. And I think they are trying to be a bit more empathetic to the Seraphites, to the scars, and showing that the WLF is just so much more powerful.
I was wondering, because obviously they don't know what the pride flag is, and then she starts singing Take On Me. So I don't think Dina knows what Take On Me is. Did she think Ellie just made that up?
Oh, yeah, 100%, dude. She thought she was witnessing Paul McCartney reincarnated.
Like, Jesus Christ, that's really fucking good.
In another life, you could have been a great singer. And Bella Ramsey did perform Take On Me. I'm always so surprised when actors or actresses can sing, but they are performers. I'm sure that's something that they were, drama kids love to sing too. It's hard to find a theater kid that wasn't at least interested in being a singer as well.
I always get secondhand embarrassing, even if it's not terrible singing, but I hate watching people shows and movies when they have somebody just sing who isn't the best singer in the world.
I can't.
And not to say she was bad, but it's just never as emotional or hard hitting as the characters feel in that moment in the audience's eyes. It's just so painfully awkward. I couldn't wait for it to end.
It's supposed to be this intimate moment. They're both locking eyes. And in my head, I kept thinking, stop looking at her. Look away. Break the eye contact. It's really bothering me. And bringing her to tears, that was impressive. Adapted directly from the game, which I'm sure a lot of people were happy about, because I know Ellie and her guitar is very important to fans. And also the connection to Joel. It's something that they did together. It's something that he taught her how to play. He was musically inclined as well. He wanted to be a singer, so he passed that down to his daughter. So it's a sweet way to bring Ellie and Dina closer together while also honoring Joel. And I'm surprised we haven't seen him yet in a flashback. So I give them credit for that too, that they're waiting to give fans those moments, because they were in the trailers. You could see a couple of moments Joel and Ellie have together that we haven't seen yet.
Yeah, song aside, I feel like I enjoyed their time together in this episode. I think they did a good job with the casting there, and the chemistry is something that really needs to work to make the story be as impactful. And obviously, there goes that word again. I should get a jar, but instead of putting money in it every time I say obviously, I cut off a piece of my skin.
Nice skin jar.
Yeah, there's a scar.
You're saying you don't like the Seraphites. Now you're talking you want to put your skin in a jar.
But it's I feel like that's deterrent. I mean, come on, a couple dollars ain't nothing to a guy like me, but skin pieces. And obviously, fuck, dude.
There you go.
Yeah.
Chop.
Ow! No, I'm just kidding.
That was a convincing ow. Jesus. Who's hurt you?
With Joel's absence, you kind of need something there that the audience can really connect with, relationship-wise. So I'm glad that's been strong so far.
Yeah, it's funny because I saw some pushback, and I really should stop caring about this, that they're making them too likable. And I will say, in this point in the story, Ellie was kind of... It's not that she wasn't likable, but it's yo, you need to chill out type of thing. For now, they still feel like young adults in love. And I actually like that more because when you do play the game, Ellie does feel way more grown up than Bella Ramsey feels right now. And even though she is 21, there's still a lot of kid in her. So she still looks up to Joel. She still is very fond of the memory. And the relationship is the same, but it almost is more convincing that someone who's still a bit immature, still more reckless because of her age, because of her inexperience and youth, would go out on in this adventure. But your point about them having the chemistry, being able to carry a dynamic like we saw in season 1, it was about 2 people, really forming that relationship. This one a bit different because it picked up in the middle where they already have a nice rapport. But, moving on from friendship to relationship to romance and discovering things about each other and also about themselves. I love the line when she says, I had this future and then I lost it where we lived together and we had children. And Ellie's, she says, do you want that, Ellie? And Ellie's like, I want that with you. So I thought that was a really sweet and nice gesture between them that, it's not something necessarily that Ellie envisioned for herself, but alongside Dita, she can see herself walking that path. So I thought that was really sweet. And like I said, it never clashes, it never comes off as cheesy or corny, because it's like, why are they doing romance in the midst of all this chaos and death and destruction? Those moments really complement each other well. And even the way that they go from waking up and cuddling and pillow talk to, we hear something on the walkie-talkie, we have to go to the roof and scout. It's time to fight. It's time to get back into the adventure. And it really feels like a video game, which I love.
Well, you mentioned how Bella Ramsey's Ellie is less, I guess high octane, or they let the character breathe a little more, which I agree is good, but you also don't want to forget about Joel, and the whole reason why she's here.
Yeah, definitely.
So I feel like we need to, you don't have to bang us over the head with it. We know Joel's dead, but kind of to keep some of that rage within Ellie, to know why we're here in the first place. They can't just be on a never-ending fairy tale in the apocalypse. I think we have a couple more episodes before that even becomes a factor. Did you think when she's like going over the whole I'm immune thing, and then Dina's just like, I'm pregnant? I feel like I'd have been like, well, okay, we're kind of doing my thing now. Like I'm literally one of one, and you really just don't care, huh? Oh, we're talking about you now? Okay, all right, yeah, congratulations. I would have wanted a little bit more like, holy shit, you're immune? Fuck.
Oh, okay, crazy. Yeah, in that regard.
Yeah.
Well, I like the way they handled it, that she's keeping the gun on her all night, and I think she's in such a panic because it is, it's life or death, dude. With these zombies, they come running at you with such great speed. I don't know if Dina can dodge. She can hear. She's good at hearing. Dodging, I don't know. But I kind of like that panic response, especially for people who, weren't familiar with how this was going to play out, because in the game, it's the spores. She takes off the mask. She shows that she can breathe. This one's just way more intense. Sticking your hand out there, taking the bite. You're thinking, for Dina, it's so much to process in a matter of literal seconds. And when she's holding the gun on her all night, she is constantly thinking, like, I hope she doesn't change. I hope she doesn't change because I'm pregnant and I want this life with her. She's just being overwhelmed by all these possibilities.
That was intense, like when she was waiting to see what was going to happen. I mean, like if I was in Ellie's shoes, I would want people to be more excited that I'm immune. It's pretty cool. No one else has this power, and we're just going to talk about you now. Okay.
It did feel like she was trying to one up her.
Yeah.
Like if there's anything that you could say in this moment that would be more interesting. Oh, baby. Well, I'm going to be a dick. I'm not going to care about your baby. Like, all right, let's talk about your fucking baby. No, but I actually thought that was only one of my only criticisms really of the episode, is how fast it went from that moment to like, I'm pregnant, now let's kiss. I was just like, okay, that was quick.
I mean, they like just started dating.
And they really did.
She's already like, oh, our baby.
Caressing her face, moving her hair and shit. She was treating her like daddy.
Yeah. I was like, okay, hold the phone. Let's see if we can live together first, They say when you move in with somebody, and you really, that's when you start to really know somebody.
Yeah, like, Ellie, I've seen your little shack. It's disgusting. They need a fucking maid. They probably got great maid service at Jackson. No, but I laughed out loud, dude, when they don't know what the flag is, and they're like, oh, I guess this was just like a really proud, like, rainbow town. Like, they're just really optimistic. And then when they see that it was all destroyed, they're like, oh, so much for the happy rainbow town. I found that to be cute. And a nice celebration of the two characters. Unapologetic. I'll tell you what about Jeffrey Wright. I'm not Weight Watching over here. But he looks great. It's like the best shape he's ever been in for a role. And I feel like this is a physique he's had in the last few roles. But, kind of that old man in shape physique. Very convincing as a soldier. Not just because he's got the, the presence of a established actor. So he carries that weight of the role. But he looks good. And that torture scene was pretty intense.
Yeah.
That may have been the most fucked up thing that they've done, really. Just a nasty side of the world that, they kind of showed it in season 1, but it always felt like it was being blunted just a bit. This was right in your face. Full frontal.
You knew he was talking to a prisoner, or like if they were going to go for a laugh, it would have been like a puppy, But I feel like they don't really go for too many laughs. So I was like, yeah, probably a prisoner or a baby. I feel like that would have been a funny gag. He's talking about his French dishes and just a baby. He's like, you don't know what I'm saying.
Or, it could be a rat. Did that movie come out in time? He's doing a little bit.
Just a perfect man to deliver a monologue.
Well, he was so underused in part 2. And I think we get like a version of this scene, and it's more so the soldiers are outside of the room and you hear what he's doing. You hear the torture going on, and the soldiers have that little spat like, this is fucked up. And he's like, Isaac knows what he's doing, whatever. But yeah, and I like to see him, kind of get more room to work here as a character, because it was something I was excited for when he was announced in the game, and it feels like they're trying to make up for that a bit. So giving us a better look of his character and the methods that he's willing to use in order to get information out of these people. And like I said, I think that the conversation, the commentary, the political commentary, Neil Druckmann's been very open about it, and it's been controversial. I just find sometimes it could be misguided empathy, but still interesting, I think, for just the overall world, and a conflict that is not going away. It's something that it's just sort of a taste of it, how brutal and how intense it is between these two sides. So overall, just a really dark and fucked up scene.
Yeah, for sure. And it is funny, like, when you get to this part in the game, because there is just like this huge conflict going on, and then you're just Ellie. You're like, oh, I just want to find Abby. Really don't care about all this, but you guys do what you got to do.
No, this is straight up how it is, bro.
Yeah.
You're just getting clipped by both sides.
Just no idea what's going on and what you just watch into. I mean, even that like force they had at the end of episode 3, tanks and shit. I mean, all those existed anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, no, for real. They got some good stuff. And then even them seeing, the way, because in the last episode, they saw what happened to the Seraphites, and then they see what the Seraphites did to the WLF soldiers. So they're getting both sides of the brutality here. Then the real threat emerges, or the most powerful threat, the zombies. And another just great, last season, it didn't really happen, but this season I've really gotten worried for characters who I know are not going to die. And I think that's just the mark of a great adaptation, when you know that this scene is going to end well, but it's still so intense because of the way that they're setting it up, like how claustrophobic it was when they're going through the trains and trying to escape, and the sound design, the sound of the zombies, all of it just coming together in a way that creates great horror moments. I just get lost in it, and I think they've done a great job of that this season, not losing sight of that threat of the zombies.
It is so funny too, like when they have all the wolves with the guns and the thing, and there's like 8 of them. I'm like, oh shit, Ellie's in trouble. They rolled up on me in the game like, yo, this is easy.
Oh, light work. Yeah.
This is gonna be so easy. Yeah. It's like, oh, I thought this was going to be a hard level. This is actually the easiest level. And then here you're like, oh, fuck, Ellie. Yeah, get out of here. No way you can survive.
It is so funny because people are like, up until this point, Ellie would have already killed like 75 people. Like, bro, they're not going to do that. We saw the one action moment where they take out a couple of the soldiers, which is fine. That's all I need from a game adaptation. Like, people were also complaining about where are all of Ellie's weapons? Like, bro, I hate to break it to you, but in real life, you can't carry a flamethrower, a bazooka, a shotgun. I would like to see them incorporate these items maybe throughout the season, where they get into a jam and they see a bow with a bunch of arrows. I like that shit, I don't need her with all the weapons all the time, just little sprinkled in moments. And I think they've done a really good job of that this season. Like I said, even seeing the moment of Ellie shivving that guy, that's what I used to do. I used to shiv guys.
Or make her see find like a box of screws and nails and just make a fucking bomb.
Yo, like, even if it doesn't even have to be exactly that, but just one moment, a makeshift Molotov cocktail. I think they did that last season. Tommy with the flamethrower, loved it. It's a callback to the game, and it's just a one hero moment. That's fine. And even what they're doing with Dina's hearing, that she's got the super hearing, that she could tell how many zombies there are, that she can differentiate between the sounds of the clickers. At
a certain point, though, like, I feel like you don't have to count anymore. She was just start using her toes. It's like, all right, there's a lot of zombies. Okay, we get it. Oh yeah, they're scary though. They're never not scary.
Yeah, it's only a problem of how often they're used, but no, when they show up, they're definitely scary. Yeah, and the pregnancy adds a new element of fear for the audience that not just the two of them, it's the three of them. So Dina is still putting herself in danger even though she's carrying this baby, and makes it more complicated between Ellie, Dina, and Jesse. It was already kind of complicated, but a love triangle, I think, done very tastefully, where you can kind of understand.
Why is Beau cream pieing a situationship during the apocalypse, man? What the fuck is he thinking?
I think we both know what he was thinking.
I know, but like, be a little bit more aware, brother.
You're not a natalist?
I'm just saying, like,
you know Joel was. We need more babies. We need more homegrown babies.
Barely dating, and you're just gonna fucking oops.
Whoopsie.
While you're just chilling at home, probably with your feet up. I got to be pregnant out in Seattle in the middle of a war with zombies everywhere.
I love how you're doing the married wife thing for Dina.
It pisses me off, man.
Dina's not even stressing about it. She's like, yeah, no, I'm fine. I'm cool.
Yeah, she's fucking pumped. I'd be so pissed.
Go kill some people.
They probably don't have the correct vitamins. Isn't that something you got to do? Prenatal vitamins?
Oh, yeah. No, I think about that all the time. There's a lot of things, dude. Giving birth.
Yeah.
I swear, motherfuckers think they just fell out of a coconut tree.
I hope it was worth it, Jesse. And you're not even the dad, really. Ellie is, so like, you just got it scot-free. Got off scot-free.
Ellie being the father who stepped up is crazy, bro.
They didn't even consider him for like 2 seconds. Like, oh, Jesse, yeah, who cares? This is our baby.
No. Did not take his feelings into account whatsoever. He probably doesn't even know.
No, he has no idea.
Can you do that?
He's probably having a great time just whistling and doing some yard work and going to the bar.
Shout out to Bob Marley. Kills me that they'll never be able to listen to that. Buffalo Soldier, Jammin', all the other Bob Marley classics. I mean, overall, this was probably... I've been very impressed with both Bella Ramsey and Isabella Merced. Probably the strongest performance I think we've gotten out of her, without a doubt.
She really did announce her pregnancy like they've been dating for like 5 years and been trying very hard, and it finally happened.
Yeah, that's what was weird to me. Yeah, it was just...
It's like they didn't even have sex yet. Ellie, I'm pregnant.
Yeah, I didn't think she earned that. I don't think she earned that news drop.
It's like, why are you telling me? Shouldn't you just go home and tell Jesse?
Just did the Woj bomb in the middle of the apocalypse. Or maybe you should have told me this before we left. Maybe I went on this crazy mission. Had a change of heart. Something new to live for other than revenge. Ellie's like, no, I'm still living for that too. We're here, aren't we? Yeah, but overall, solid episode. And now I'm kind of upset that we only have 3 left. I'm a little upset that there's only 7 this season.
Yeah, it's crazy. It feels like it just started. Already halfway done.
And we got to see Josh Peck die. That was cool. That's a terrible fucking way to go.
Grenade?
Oh, the door locked.
That would have took me. I would have been like, what? That's I was been sitting there like, what happened?
It's just enough time to realize that you're about to die without fully realizing it.
It's like you see it happen. You're like, surely Sergeant didn't just throw grenades in here. That's exactly what he did.
And then he locked the door. I don't think we can get out.
So was that a fucking grenade?
He threw it's several. There's 4 in here now.
It's like he threw one and they're like, oh, the classic gag.
Yeah. No, that's a dud.
Yeah.
Oh, Sarge does that.
The second and third one, and by then you're like, oh, first one's probably going off yet already.
Yeah, I wasn't worried about the first one, but once we got to 3 and then 4 came rolling around, I was concerned.
I liked how we saved that one kid because he was just like, he just asked the question. He's like, all right, this guy's deep. He's thinking on the right plane.
And then kill him later when he betrays me. Yeah, no, I'm really excited to see more of all that. The WLF, Jeffrey Wright, the Seraphites, and Dina and Ellie's adventure. It looks like it's going to be kind of a, continuation of how intense this one was. Possibly even more violent and dramatic and traumatizing, all the things that we love.
There was nothing worse in the game, though. It's like when you, like, oh, we got to go there, and it's just so fucking far away.
Oh, my God, yeah, and you're going to run into some fucking zombies.
This is going to take forever. I'll be honest, I hated playing the game. Every time a cutscene ends, I'm like, guess I got to do work for an hour before I get to see what happens next.
No, dude, that's Metal Gear Solid. Those cutscenes hit so nice. You can legit kick your feet up.
Yeah, like, oh, this is good. Wonder what's going to happen next. It's like, oh, here, try to kill these fucking freaks. And it's going to be super hard to do it. And you're not going to have any fun. It's like, okay.
And you have no ammo.
Yeah, you're gonna be insanely frustrated for 2 hours, and you're gonna progress like 2%.
No, that was me playing Arkham Knight with those fucking tanks. Oh my god, bro. I was like, well, this isn't fun. You get so frustrated. You're like, games are supposed to be fun. This isn't fun. I put it on medium for a mission. A mission or two. We'll come back to hard when we start the game over, when we collect all the items.
Yeah, it's the best part about the show. It's just all cutscenes, you know? They just made a show of cutscenes.
All right, guys, that's where we're going to end this week's review of The Last of Us Season 2, Episode 4, Day 1. And that's what they also called this in the game, so that was fun. Aaron, thanks for joining me, as always. We will be back next week for Episode 5. And hopefully a 2-1 Knicks series lead. Or maybe 3-0. I mean, let's not get crazy. Or should we?
Well, it's possible. I mean, you just got to do it. You won that game, so why can't we just win the other ones?
Dude, that's so true. I always think that about sports.
I feel like people try to overcomplicate things.
Just score and defend. Just score and defend. Move those feet.